stars are aligned such and such, or that means that it's going to be a bad year, or it's going to be doom is coming. But now the Most High darkened their eyes, so they can't get it straight.
Right. Which we're going to get that. We're going to get that, and the brother's right, because that's what Esau is using right now. He's using the tree of knowledge of good and evil,
right?
Which is what Adam, which beginning with Eve, which was what Eve and Adam got into. I have to say it that way because she was first in the transgression. You know, so that's what they were delving into, the left hand side, the knowledge of good and evil. All right, go ahead, brother. But we're gonna get into Esau and his witchcraft and because that's what you got going. That's what you got ruling today, the left hand side of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Go ahead.
Okay.
Revelation 22:1.
Revelation 22:1. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb.
Right, so this was John on the island of Patmos looking up into the heavens, and the reason why he said clear as crystal was because he actually was able to see the ozone layer. The Lord showed him the ozone layer, which was clear as crystal around the earth, and he saw right into the heavens. He said he saw a pure river of living water. Now that pure river of living water was space, and the stars and the constellations up there. Matter of fact, Genesis, there you go, Genesis 1:1. 1 and 2.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 2. And the earth was...
Start at the first one.
Okay, Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, the powers created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void. And darkness was upon the face of the deep.
That's space. Darkness was upon the face of the deep. Go ahead.
And the spirit of the powers moved upon the face of the waters.
And the spirit of the powers moved upon the face of the waters, meaning the elements that were out in space. Now the elements were there. Everything was there. The stars and moons and everything. Everything was out there, but it was just in its element stage or element form. So you couldn't really see it. Go ahead.
And the power said, "Let there be light." And there was light.
Right. So the first thing they created was the light. But the point is that they moved through the waters.
Right.
Which is what? In the heavens, in space. That's where you get the word Shemayim, which means heavens, means the Shah at the beginning of a word, if it's not connected to the word, means pertaining to or which. And then Mayam is waters, pertaining to the waters. What waters was that talking about? The waters in the heavens, which is the elements up there in the stars. So when you look, when John, matter of fact, read that again in Revelation 22. So when John was looking up, that's what he saw. He saw everything up there. Go ahead.
Yeah, because this is a footnote, because the earth doesn't, the sun gives the earth light.
That's right.
To let you know it's daytime. But in outer space, or in outside the ozone layer,
right.
Outer atmosphere, they call it, I believe, it has its own light.
That's right.
Okay? Because that light was created before the sun was created.
Right. That's right.
All right, so some people, they try to have you think that the sun is what gives you your light. No, it's the sun gives light to the earth, but it's already a light out in outer space, man.
Yeah, that's why when you look up into the heavens, you can see lights.
Right
there.
At night.
And contrary to popular belief, the sun revolves around the earth, not the other way around.
Right.
Because the sun was created, the earth was created before the sun. And the sun has a cycle around the earth, not the other way around.
Right.
I just wanted to throw that out as a
Earth is the center of the universe. And now as John is looking at it, he's basically, like, if you ever looked at the stars, especially brothers that are down, like if you went either up in the mountainous regions or if you're like in the islands more so, or like in Florida.
Right.
But even up in the cities, you see it on a clear night. If you look in the heavens, you see the stars and the constellation. You go, that what Esau calls, that's the Big Dipper.
Right.
Or that's this sign, or the North Star.
The North Star, yep.
That's so pretty much John is seeing that. There's a layer there,
right,
which is clear as crystal, as we're reading in Revelation.
Yep.
But John, that's what John's seeing, but he's describing it.
That's right.
All right.
Now from there, before you read on, go to Psalms 19:1.
Okay.
Now the book of Psalms 19:1, we call that the internet scripture. Now Psalms 19:1 and 2 is twofold. The first fold is talking about the actual
sun,
the sun, moon, stars, and then the other fold is talking about the satellites.
Yep.
With the knowledge being taught. But we're gonna go into the first fold. The first fold. Go ahead, brother.
Psalms chapter 19, verse 1. It says the heavens declare the glory of the Most High.
Right. That's why you see what you see in the stars. Now, if our eyes were open, we would be able to look up into the heavens right now and see what's coming next down the pike.
Yep.
But we don't have that technology right now. We don't have that wisdom right now. The Lord got to give it back to us.
Right, and the proof of that, real quick, is during the time, was it Elijah or Elisha, when the servant was, I think it was Elisha.
Yeah, I believe so. Yep.
And he
The
thought
servant was nervous.
he was nervous because they was outnumbered.
Right.
Then Elisha prayed to the Most High to open his eyes so he could see that there was more with them
Right.
than was the host that was coming against them.
Yep.
Then he opened up his eyes and he seen there was a whole lot of chariots, angels, UFOs.
Yep.
All right, so that just to back up what the brother just said.
That's right.
You know, but okay, so now it says, the heavens declare the glory of the Most High, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Psalms 19:2. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge.
Right. That's twofold. Like we said, you have the fold with the internet being broadcasted throughout the world and teaching and bringing out the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. But also when you look up into the heavens, the stars, the moon, the sun, and all that, they showing their handiwork every day. Read that again.
It says, the heavens declare the glory of the Most High, and the firmament showeth his handiwork.
Go ahead.
Day unto day uttereth speech.
Right. Day unto day utter his speech. So if we were able to read the stars, we'd be able to know what's going to happen tomorrow or next week or the week after, or so on and so forth. Go ahead.
Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge.
Right, and night after night showeth knowledge, because that's what they were created for signs, seasons, days, and years. Now, let's go from there to the book of John 7:38, because that's one fold of it, which is the heavens. That's the waters up there. All right, so we want to go into the fold with the heavens being the waters, the stars, the moon, the sun, the elements in the heavens, the space, the deep. What Esau calls the Milky Ways and the constellations and the zodiac and all that. But now also the Revelation 22 is also speaking about the knowledge. The actual knowledge of righteousness, which is what we're coming back to right now. Go ahead, brother.
Okay. St. John chapter 7 verse 38. He that believeth on me, as the scriptures have said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water.
Right, so he that believeth on me, as the scriptures have said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water, which is the knowledge coming out in abundance to teach, to wake brothers back up, and that's what we're doing right now. So, yeah, go ahead, brother.
No, if I may add, because like the scripture said, when it says out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water, that's not talking about the actual man's what we call stomach or his belly,
right.
And the actual water's coming out. That's symbolic,
right? Yep.
Which the belly is the belly of your mind, talking about your mind, and the living waters, like the brother said, is this knowledge. So now the tree, back to the tree of the tree of life, it wasn't no action as figuratively speaking.
That's right.
It's symbolic. In other words, there wasn't no actual tree where you could go and get a magical apple,
or
some bullshit like that.
That was righteous fruit on that tree, but on this tree, if you eat that tree, you got to make sure you eat the right fruit, because if you eat the other fruit, that's evil. Now,
right?
Like the brother's right. It was symbolic. Certain things in the scriptures are symbolic. Other things are literal. So you got the two sides. You got the heavens, which is waters, and you have the knowledge of righteousness, which is also waters. And the reason why we're breaking it down like that to you, so you can get the full picture.
Yep.
All right, now let's go back to Revelation.
Oh, okay.
So we've done in Psalms.
Okay.
Go back to Revelation 22 and 2.
Okay, Revelation chapter 22, verse 2. It says, in the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits.
Right, so as John was looking up, he called the heavens like a street. On either side of the street, there was, read it again?
Right, it says, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life.
Right, the tree of life was up there. So he was able to see. So when you look up at the constellations, that's the tree of life. The tree of life is also contained in the scriptures.
If I may say,
yeah, go ahead, brother.
About it, and like I said again, going back to like a clear night, you can see the sometimes you can see the stars. They look like they like right there on you.
Right.
Like the clouds sometimes might look close, like they almost tangible.
Yep.
Like
sometimes it look like the moon is fire.
Yeah. like, but it looked like it's that close.
Yep, yep.
So that's why he said on either side. I mean, on either side of the ozone layer, he could see it.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. So that you have to picture that.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So that's why we're trying to paint the picture for you so that you can see and understand what John was talking about. Go ahead, brother.
It says, in the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits.
Right. Now that 12 manner of fruits is talking about the zodiac. Now when you look up into the heavens, which is what John was looking up into, you actually have certain constellations of stars, which Esau today has like a circular wheel where he has the 12 signs, the so-called 12 signs of the zodiac. You know, and if you were born on this month, you're Capricorn. If you were born on this particular month, you're a Cancer or you're a Leo. And these are your traits and these are your characteristics, and you're this and you're that.
Yeah, water sign, fire sign.
Right, water signs and fire signs and earth signs and all that stuff, you know? Because that's what Esau worships. So when you look up into the heavens, those things that are up there, they were set up for healing. They were set up for signs. They were set up for seasons. They were set up for days, you know? But Esau took it and the other nations took it and they used it on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
So read that again, brother.
It says, in the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits.
Right, those are the 12 zodiacs. Go ahead. So-called zodiac. Go ahead.
And yielded her fruit every month.
And yielded her fruit every month. So every month, the heavens declare certain things. Go ahead. That's what we read in Psalms 19, that day after day it showeth knowledge.
Right. In every month, you got a different so-called zodiac sign.
Yeah, yep.
You know? And then that's why brother, I don't advise you brothers not to get into that zodiac reading or whatever. All right? Because really a lot of it's just bullshit. It's just like the fortune cookie. They don't really have the knowledge of that. You know, they got certain stuff that might have been documented about, maybe they might say certain things about, you know, Leos or fire, whatever the case may be.
Right.
When they say, okay, this is going to happen to you today, because, you know, that's all bullshit. That's just like the thing with the fortune cookie.
Yeah.
You know, some damn big fat old guy just writing a bunch of bullshit. So don't get all caught up into that. But we're just going into the edification of it, letting you know about the tree of life, the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
That's right, because Esau is the one that gets it on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
You know, that's why they have sacrifices on certain days.
Right.
You know, you got the Bohemian Grove. You know, they do that in the second week of July. And for the last 2 weeks in July, they gather in Sonoma County in California at the Bohemian Grove, and they go through a ritual. They run around the forest butt naked. They go through a ritual where they have a 40-foot owl, stone owl called Molech. You know, and they burn a child. They actually sacrifice children. They say it's an effigy. It's not an effigy. They actually sacrifice children. Now there's something called the cremation of care. Now in the cremation of care, what they do is they actually sacrifice the child. And after they sacrifice the child, they so-called burnt care, or whatever the case was. And then what they say is, it's in midsummer. Now we are free again. Something to that effect. So in other words, they made it through that ritual, so they got another year to go before they had to bring out the ritual again. So that's what we're going to read in the book of Isaiah about these things that they're doing, you know. But what I want to do now, was that it on Revelation 22:2?
Okay, let me just finish the verse. It says, verse 2, it says, in the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. Right,
that's where you got something called a farmer's almanac, which lets you know if you're going to have a good crop this year or a bad crop, so on and so forth. All right, so what we're going to do now is we got a couple of web pages we're going to take a look at to show you a little more edification on this. And like the Elder Manatazak said, it ain't for you brothers to get into the zodiac. We're not doing this lesson for that. We're doing this lesson just to show you what the scriptures is talking about. In the kingdom, we're going to get all of that. Right now, if your main focus is to learn the scriptures.
Right, which if I may add,
yeah, brother,
is grabbing back hold to the tree of life.
That's right.
Which real quick before we go there.
Okay,
I just want to bring one precept out
Yeah.
since you said that. And this is in Revelation chapter 2, verse 7. It said, he that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the tree of life, which is in the midst of the paradise of the Most High.
Right. So in other words, when we get to the kingdom and we make it out of here, then you'll
Right.
be able to eat of and learn all that, know all about that.
Right.
All right. But right now, your main focus is to learn the scriptures. So let's take a look at these couple of web pages real quick, and then we'll be right back.
Come.